Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today, wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about XRP. And once again, this is the one-day chart. We're sitting here at $2.02. XRP moved into the red once again today with the rest of the market, but it's still holding up very well right now, just above $2. And if you look at the 1 week, people were calling for a double bottom on XRP before we see the breakout. So maybe the bottom is now in for XRP. It's too unpredictable to say that the bottom is in. But yet, every single day I see people saying, this is the bottom, and then it goes lower. No, this is the bottom. Expect the breakout to begin. But so far, this cycle has been anything but predictable. And look at Bitcoin, back down under 90K. Like I said, every time Bitcoin starts to look really good, like that breakout is about to begin, something brings it right back down. And it's the OG Bitcoin holders that are selling off. People that were buying Bitcoin back in the Satoshi era, they're starting to sell off their bags. And that's why Bitcoin continues to plummet down every time the price starts to move. Is alt season dead? That seems to be the narrative right now. Everybody's wondering if we're ever going to see an alt season. It is literally going to come out of nowhere. Everybody's also kicking the can down the road into 2026 already. Well, XRP doesn't look too good for the rest of this year. Let's start talking about next year. But I would not count out December yet. You know, this market could turn around very quick. We see how volatile crypto is. It's the reason you invest in it. That volatility leads to riches, because all of a sudden you look at your portfolio and it's down a little bit, and then a few hours later you look at it again and all of a sudden your portfolio is skyrocketing. That's what's great about crypto, and that's why I said I don't think it's over yet for XRP in 2025. I don't think it's over for Bitcoin yet in 2025. We got to see how the rest of the month goes. Volume is red across the board except XRP. In the past 24 hours, Bitcoin's trading volume dropped 16% and ETH fell 9%, with most altcoins seeing similar declines, but XRP bucked the trend, surging 7%. The volume is continuing to pour in, but it's not being reflected in the price of XRP. And every time it looks like XRP is about to decouple from the rest of the market, all of a sudden it comes down with the rest of the market. The decoupling will happen, but I think it's going to happen through regulations and utility. But XRP, time and time again, outperforms the rest. XRP descending, broadening wedge signals potential major rally. And if you look at the chart from Greg that he put up, you could see that it could go in any direction right now. So 57% chance we break up towards $9.50. 43% chance we head back towards 50 cents. Now, me personally, I'm optimistic. I think we are going to see XRP begin to break out. And when that happens, everybody's going to be so excited. And the FOMO is going to be absolutely incredible, because nobody wants to miss out on XRP, but nobody wants to go all in until it starts to move. But again, whenever you see XRP in a descending triangle, like it seems like it's going to continue to fall, right away that reversal comes and XRP starts to break out. We've seen it in previous cycles. Here's a great example right here in 2021. Descending channel, and then all of a sudden a break upward. Will we see the same thing begin here? Nobody really knows. Everybody's speculating on what's going to happen next, but nobody is 100% right in this market. Some people get lucky sometimes, though. That's the way I look at it. This comes from Bold Theory, and I agree with this post. This is why the 4-year cycle is dead now. Bull run isn't over, it's delayed. The idea that Bitcoin still follows a clean 4-year cycle is getting weaker. Most of the major moves in the last decade didn't come from halving events. They came from shifts in global liquidity. And the same patterns are starting to form again. Here's the problem I see with Bitcoin, though. Everybody's making excuses. It's no longer a 4-year cycle. Bitcoin's going to be up all throughout 2026, 2027, and beyond. But the idea of that is not even logical. What's really going on is technology is moving forward. The 4-year cycle absolutely is over, in my opinion. But I think Bitcoin is not going to see these gains that people are calling for. How does it stay relevant in a time where a new financial system is rising? Because the infrastructure is already there for that to happen. You already see the shift happening in real time as well. Everybody's talking about the digital age. They're talking about the rise of AI. And I think Bitcoin is losing relevance to stable coins as well. Whenever you could move something around the world in a matter of seconds for less than a penny, people are going to do it. Bitcoin's use case is pretty much dead versus stable coins and other cryptocurrencies. The one thing that XRP gives you, other than just moving money very fast and very cheap, is on-demand liquidity and unlocking those nostro-vostro accounts, removing all that friction, removing the middleman. And that's where we're headed. And Bitcoin will not survive in that world. It will be pushed into irrelevance. So I think the decline is happening with Bitcoin. And I think the reason the OG Bitcoin holders are selling off is because they see the shift as well. That momentum is no longer there for Bitcoin. The belief system is crumbling already. Once it comes crashing down, we will have a major change in the top 10 cryptocurrencies, meaning XRP is going to replace Bitcoin as the #1 cryptocurrency. XRP minus 31% in the past 2 months. Unlike Bitcoin, is seeing the most fear, uncertainty, and doubt since October, according to our social data. This comes from Sentiment. Circles indicate days where there are abnormally high bullish comments compared to bearish comments about XRP. That's the greed zone. Green circles indicate days where there are abnormally higher bearish comments compared to bullish comments about XRP, the fear zone. The last time we saw near this level of fear from the crowd was November 21st, and XRP's price immediately rallied plus 22% over the next 3 days. After that, greed took over, and the rally came to a quick halt. As of now, an opportunity appears to be emerging just like 2 weeks ago. So they're saying when people are the most bearish, that's when you could expect the breakout to begin. And they show it on the chart. And the chart, in my opinion, does not lie. That's why whenever I see all this FUD building around XRP, I'm like, this could be the moment we've been waiting for. Because whenever people are so negative about something, XRP tends to go in the opposite direction. And when it does that, it moves very quick, leaving all those people behind. Everybody wants to sell when the market turns red. That's what it comes down to. But when you're selling now, the whales are just waiting to scoop up that XRP. The XRP ledger is still steadily operating above the $1 billion per day threshold. in both payments and successful transactions, even though price action has moved deeper into a declining channel and threatened a retest of the $2 psychological zone. So it seems like nothing is slowing down on the XRP ledger. Still, $1 billion worth of transactions is happening. But why is it not reflected in the price of XRP? That's what everybody is wondering right now. I think what's happening is this. XRP is still following Bitcoin. Every time Bitcoin comes down, XRP comes down with it. But that's not going to continue to happen forever. Whenever you have all this volume on the XRP ledger, plus you have the ETFs taking XRP out of circulation day after day, something is eventually going to give. And XRP is just going to start to go on a rip. That's what I think is going to happen. And when it happens, everybody's going to be shocked by it. But we all see it coming. How could you be processing $1 billion a day in transactions on the ledger, have lockups happening through ETFs, plus at the same time, new rails getting put in place all around the world as well, with massive news dropping almost every single day, yet no price movement? I'm telling you, something is going to give, and when it does, XRP holders are going to be very happy. And take a listen to this. All the banks, remember I kept telling you Clarity Act is going to be very big for XRP? Well, the Tucrium CEO points out why. Take a listen.
I think the potential for real adoption is more than potential, is being adopted. Ripple has worked diligently. They're very professional over there. They are single-minded in their purpose, and they are building the rails, as they say, across the entire global financial system for the XRPL, so the XRP ledger, to be used. And of course, you use XRP on the ledger, you use RLUSD, which is their stablecoin on the ledger. And all the banks, once the Clarity Act is passed, I think you're going to see use of that ledger explode. I don't think people understand how much is being used right now, or it's being prepared right now. And I don't even grasp the scale of how big the use of that ledger is going to be once the Clarity Act is passed. And that's really a needed thing. I think that the spot ETFs, where they actually hold the physical, that does help. It takes some supply off the market. We saw it help the Ether price quite a bit when the Ether ETFs came out. I don't know what will happen here. I would think it would provide at least some underpinning. I would think that as more money comes in, the price volatility will go down a little bit, because we've seen that in other assets. So that's something to reasonably expect. But I don't think people understand that Ripple's a real live use case. Ripple the company has been very disciplined in setting itself up in thousands of banks on all the platforms across the world. As soon as there's clarity in the U.S. for banks to, and let's face it, all the money in the world goes through the U.S. At one point or another, it just does. And once the U.S. banks have a very clear, well-defined regulatory environment in which to play, I think the use of the XRPL skyrockets. And so what that'll do to the price of XRP, I don't know. But
yeah, I mean, that's one of the really fascinating things about XRP to me, is that because it is really designed as a utility token, people shouldn't be thinking of XRP as a thing that you go put money in and then it doubles in value, like what people hope Bitcoin will do, or gold. Right? It's not designed to be a static store of value. It's designed to be this very living thing that gets moved through the economy to help enable the movement of value through other mechanisms, currencies, et cetera. So there is that question of how does increased adoption translate into the price of Ripple going up? I'm with you. My vibe on it is that we'll see the price stabilize and then grind higher as utilization goes up. And obviously, if we get big spikes in utilization, you would expect to see some spikes in the prices.
And that's what I've been saying this entire time. When the banks get on board the XRP ledger, it's going to set off a network effect. Every other bank is going to jump on board, because now they have this way of sending money very fast, very cheap. Plus, they have on-demand liquidity there as well. So how would it factor into the price of XRP? Right out of the gate, you'll most likely see gradual upward movement. But then all of a sudden, as they start utilizing it even more, you're going to get spikes on the price of XRP. Or maybe we just get one big push up because the banks come out of the testing phase on the private ledger. Then all of a sudden we get to see that price reflected in the daily price of XRP. And some people speculate, other people say they have guaranteed information saying that it's in the thousands. Now, I don't know that for sure. Nobody really does. But I know this, if you're moving a lot of value, XRP cannot be sitting at a cheap price for that to happen. David Schwartz has confirmed that in the past. But like I've been telling you this entire time, Clarity Act is going to be huge for XRP. And I'm glad somebody else confirmed it. But like I said at the beginning of this video, where do we go from here? Nobody really knows. Everybody's still guessing because there's so much uncertainty out there right now. Even if XRP started to break back up towards $2.20 again, and Bitcoin came back above 90K again, and it looked like we were going to get that breakout moment, it seems like every single time that happens, something brings the price of Bitcoin down, and the rest of the market goes with it. Until they let Bitcoin go on its final ascent, I think we're going to see sideways action. I think we're also going to be trapped inside this channel that seems to be forming as well, in between $2 and $2.20. But it's like this. As long as you have the patience to make it through this, you will get to the finish line. You will get to the euphoric times, and you will get financial freedom. But until it happens, you got to stay patient, stay positive, so we can all get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.